I immediately grabbed. That's a
Top N is a trick.
Can I give you one of these?
Thank you.
This is not working for me. This is not working for me.
get a new lighter.
There you go.
Out a treat. It's a trick.
Number three is a trick, and there's no treat. Proposition N is a trick. There's no trick.
There's no treat. N is a trick.
There is no treat, yeah.
N. So, do you want to stand by the sidewalk?
Up there, right now. Today.
People range around on the step. No one in. If you guys stand in front of people, well, everybody else has got their signs that facing out to the street.
You guys please proceed with that sign. I'm going to start with the speakers. And you guys see building resource here.
Housing counselor at Independent Living. I work with people with all different kinds of disabilities. And from where I sit, Prop N looks really different from where the Prop N people sit. From where they sit, General Assistance, GA, is some kind of joke that drug addicts get this payment and they use it so they can live on the street and do drugs. From where I sit, GA is a small, pitiful sum of money that people who become disabled use to stay off the street. GA is what these disabled people apply for after they can't work anymore, after they use up their temporary disability check from the state, after they exhaust their savings, after they borrow money from all their friends and family until they can't borrow anymore. GA is what these people get to try to hang on until they get a Section 8 voucher, hang on until they get into subsidized housing, hang on until they get their permanent disability check. Anybody from Social Security can tell you that's going to take months. It may even take years. We need to help these people. We need to help them get on permanent disability, and we need to help them get more housing. The shelters are full. The low-income housing all has impossibly long waiting lists, even for housing that some people wouldn't touch with a 10-foot pole. We need to get these people more low-income housing, and we don't need to take away their money first to do it. Thank you.
More access.
All right, what do we want?
What do we want?
Services.
When do we want them?
Now.
What do we want?
Housing.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want?
Housing.
When do we want it?
Now.
What do we want? When do we want it?
Now.
I'm going to call our next speaker, David Hasegawa from the Fiona Ma for Supervisor campaign.
All right,
Thank you, Jesse.
Thank you, Jesse. Yeah, my name is David Hasegawa, and to all voters in San Francisco, please vote no on N. On December 10th, 2000, I slipped and fell and tore my right cartilage under my knee. I was in chronic pain and needed knee surgery to remove my cartilage. I was unable to work. I was totally disabled. By the end of January 2001, I lost everything. I became homeless in San Francisco. For the next 8 months, I struggled to survive each day. I applied and received food stamps of $130 a month with no cash in my pocket. But I did not qualify for cash disbursements since I have a pending workers' compensation claim in process. The solution to the homeless problem in San Francisco is not Proposition N. The The solution is multifaceted. Every homeless person should take personal responsibility and search and find a person who could assist them in the city hall. On March 16, 2001, I met Fiona Mall up on 14th floor of the State Building in the office of Senator John Burton. Fiona was my guardian angel. With her political muscle, she called and wrote letters on my behalf to my insurance company, and I received my disability benefits and authorization for my knee surgery. I am no longer homeless. I'm a resident of the Sunset District. Yeah! Due to my suffering and hardships, I believe I can make a difference. I am planning and developing a nonprofit organization called Zenscape. This nonprofit organization will design and build community gardens in every district in San Francisco. I will develop programs for job training for homeless people and a program for a food bank to feed the poor, the homeless, and the disabled. This is what San Francisco needs, not Proposition N. The Proposition N by Gavin Newsom is driven by his political want. It does nothing to fix the root of the problem of the homeless. Vote no on N. Thank you.
All right. Thank you, David. That was great. Is Michael Kroc here? Michael Kroc is not here, okay?
Come on, Gavin Newsom, come
Is
out.
Raymond Vega here?
Okay, I just want to call your guys' attention to the obvious that the mainstream media is not here. Luckily, we have. We'll make sure that this gets on the SF Independent Media sites and
the Living Wage
SF
channel.
Living Wage channel. And we know that regardless of whether the San Francisco Chronicle and the San Francisco Examiner pay attention to this, that these are important voices, and we are going to win next Tuesday. We are going to win because people in San Francisco, people with disabilities, people without disabilities, are smelling Gavin Newsom's shit. Excuse my language, but they're smelling it. They're smelling it really, really, really strongly, and they know that something is wrong in San Francisco, and they're going to come out and they're going to defeat this measure. And it's going to be like almost every struggle. People with disabilities, whether you know it or not, are up in front and center, fighting for justice, and this will be no different. On Saturday, November 2nd, there will be a Poor People's March starting off at 24th Street at noon and coming down here. Of course, we will encourage everybody to vote on that day, because you can vote in City Hall anytime from now up until Election Day. But we will also do this to show support and solidarity. Those people who are under the gun currently, and those people who will probably be under the gun if Gavin Newsom gets away with this. Because as James Baldwin said, if they come for you in the morning, they will be back for me at night, and we know that. We know that, and we're going to stand up together this Saturday, the Poor People's March, and we will make sure that the SF Chronicle, the Examiner, the Haas family, the Schwab family, that they hear us, and they hear us loud and clear. This is our city. Disabled people, people without disabilities, united for justice in a city that we can all live in. Thank you.
Out a treat. Proposition is a trick without a treat. Prop N is a trick without a treat. Prop N is a trick without a treat. Prop N is a trick without a treat. So I think we have our next speaker is here, Mike Kroc.
Fine.
I'd like to talk to you about my experience when I was in Laguna Honda Hospital for nearly 16 months. I would like to tell everybody, living in a nursing home is not a house. It's not a home. With Prop N, they have no clear definition of what is housing. Does shelter include it? Does nursing home include it? Such as Laguna Honda or New Haven? Home is a home. They have their own photos, control, independent freedom. Prop N is not going to include people who are living their own home. They have not defined clearly what definition of housing. With this Prop N, a lot of people, including senior, over 60, 65, even 80, maybe 100 years old, will be affected. Women, even with a baby, will be affected. This Prop N is not justified. It's not humane. And also, I want to talk briefly, very briefly, about housing crisis in San Francisco. This is how I start. What housing we're talking about? There's no housing for anybody. Whether you're low income, disabled, elderly, homeless, or people with income, low, middle income. Everywhere you go, the studio is almost $1,000. One bedroom, over $1,500. With Prop N, people with $395 a month, they cannot even afford anything. Not to mention about medication or cigarette. How can they afford with $395 to buy crack and cocaine? That's baloney. But housing is always a problem. It is also a solution for homeless people. That's why I have to say, keep it going.
And over 80% of us live under the poverty line, which is one major obstacle hindering our abilities to receive government benefits, employment, education, and other services. Prop N will target this 80% of the disabled community who are not on SSI or in the disability service system because of stigma around their disability, institutionalized racism, the misdiagnosed and segregated placement in education and the mental health system, and a lack of support. Also, the bureaucratic, culturally insensitive maze is another trap that disabled people of color, especially those who of us don't speak English. Prop N doesn't look at these roadblocks. It just takes our small amount of income and tosses us back into institutions, inaccessible temporary housing, and creating another generation of disabled people of color who are poor and outside the disability service system. In good times, disabled people of color are evicted from their homes, i.e. the dot-com boom. And in budget crisis, our cash benefits, services, and organizations are cut. From our youth to our elders, we will not stand for your continuous ignorance, Gavin Newsom, on our issues that is shown in black and white and Proposition N. Let's vote, let's get out the vote, and we are here. Disabled people of color are here, disabled people elderly are here, disabled youth are here, and we are voters. And Gavin Newsom, wake up and smell the coffee.
Gavin Newsom, get out of town, get up, get down. Gavin Newsom, get out of town, get up, get down. Gavin Newsom, get out of town, get up, get down. Gavin Newsom, get out of town, get up.
Proposition N is a trick, and there's no treat. Proposition N is a trick, and there's no treat. Proposition N is a trick, and there's no treat. Proposition N is a trick, and there's no treat. Proposition N is a trick, and there's no treat. Proposition N is a trick, and there's no treat. Proposition N is a trick, and there's no treat. Proposition N is a trick, and there's no treat. Proposition N is a trick, and there's no treat. Proposition N is a trick, and there's no treat. Proposition N is a trick, and there's no treat.
No access, no services, no Prop N.
No access, no services. access, no services. No on Prop N. No access, no services. No on Prop N. No access, no services. No on Prop N. No access, no services.
We're back. We just took a commercial break, but if you just came, this is a press conference held by...
At 11:30, I think we were supposed to be done. Now, well, I think that this was an idea to give people some expressions, and I know we're not going to be able to have all of our expressions of what, what we think is beyond capitalism, but just to kind of open that up, and also to leave us with a panel that discussed the things that we see for future, and not just the big everyday work that we're seeing with no future in mind. And I think it's really important that we have the idea of a vision, because those of us who don't have a vision will never work toward it. So we just work. We just don't know what we're working toward. So I think that vision, as we begin to spell it out, will be very helpful in our work. So I thank all of you for being here. But I want all of you to stay for this next session, because it is so terribly important. We have to do our work in terms of the carrying forward with the organization of the committees of correspondence. So that there are a couple of things I think we need to do now. Do we need to talk about the elections now? Okay. So I think we better do that first, and then we go back into the discussion that we just left. Is Leslie still here by? Chatterley, okay. Are you doing this, Barbara? And MIL? Oh, Barbara, okay. Barbara Tudor, West Virginia. The election committee has tallied up all of the ballots. If you're leaving, do it quietly at least. And I have a following report. Of the yellow single votes, there were 2 ballots, 24 of the orange votes, 20 of the red, 30 of the blue, for a total of 76 ballots. There was 1 ballot that we did invalidate because it didn't have numbers, it just had checks, and we could not determine how to rank it. And most importantly, I think you want to know how those totals came out, so I will give you the ranking now at this time. First choice was Carl Bloyd. Second, Maël Apollon. Third was Mildred Williamson. Fourth, Jay Schaffner. Fifth, Harry Targ. Sixth, Pat Fry. Seventh, Barry Cohen. Eighth, Gina Pesumila Palenkar. Ninth was Marty Price. 10th was Marion Gordon. 12th was David Cohen. 13th, Edith Pollock. 14th, Barbara Blom. And 16th, Ted Pearson.
Who's 11?
Number 11 was Marilyn Albert. Did I skip that one? Marilyn Albert. Well, congratulations to all of you. Oh, I'm sorry. Co-chairs. Co-chairs, Charlene Mitchell, Mark Solomon, Leslie Kagan, and James Campbell. Thank all of you, and thanks to our group for hard work. Can I get a motion to accept the report on from the elections committee? A second? Raise your cards, all those in favor. Okay. All opposed? Any abstentions? It's unanimously accepted. Thank you very much. I'll have a final credentials report, which will be given by Jim Campbell.
morning.
Good morning.
I hope this, thank you. These are the totals of delegates and observers at this convention. The report covers 27 areas. The total registered attendance is 434. The total delegates is 121. The total observers is 313. The 27 areas in attendance, and I'll give you each of those and their totals.
Could you go a little bit slower?
Sure. Back to a classroom mode.
What was 434?
Total registered attendance, 434. Total delegates, 121. Total observers, 313. And now the areas. There are 27 of them. Colorado, 1. Connecticut, 2. Eastern Pennsylvania, 4. Illinois, 17. Indiana, 8. I'm sorry, 6. Iowa, 1. Kentucky, 5. Maryland, D.C., 5. Massachusetts, 8. Metro New York, 37. Michigan, 1. Minnesota, 4. Mississippi, 1. Missouri, 1. Nevada, 1. New Jersey, 2. Northern California, 263. North Carolina, 1. Ohio, 3. Oregon, 6. Southern California, 53. South Carolina, 4. Tennessee, 2. There's a blanket Utah. Washington, 4. West Virginia, 1. Western Pennsylvania, 1, for a total of 434. Thank you.
A question from the podium. Wasn't there